morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Friday, May 23rd, and we are still doing this comparison between Ezekiel and Revelation. And what I found was, I found this wonderful chart online, and it gave 22 places where Ezekiel and Revelation seem to be talking about the same thing, where Ezekiel talked about the throne room vision, so did Revelation. And the descriptions were very similar. Then we saw that there was a book and that they were told to eat the scroll, and the scroll was sweet as honey, both the same in Revelation. So today we're going to talk about the cup of wrath. And then I'm going to tell you what's coming next week at the end of the message. So in Ezekiel 23:32, it says, "Thus says the Lord God, you shall drink your sister's cup that is deep and large. You shall be laughed at and held in derision, for it contains much. You will be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, a cup of horror and desolation, the cup of your sister, Samaria. You shall drink it and drain it out, and gnaw its shards and tear your breasts." So basically what this is, it's being Ezekiel is being, God is saying to the people, you have taken this cup of idolatry, of turning your back on God and not following God. And what it's led you to is drunkenness, sorrow, horror, desolation. You're going to gnaw on its shards and you're going to tear at your breasts. You're going to be very forlorn about it. In Revelation 14:9, it says, "And another angel, a third, followed them, saying with a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and its image and receives a mark on his forehead or on his hand, he also will drink the wine of God's wrath, poured full strength into the cup of his anger, and he will be tormented with fire and sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of the torment goes up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, these worshipers of the beast and its image, whoever receives the mark of its name." So again, that idolatry of worshiping the beast rather than worshiping God brings them to this horror, this desolation, this horrible sorrow. They're going to be gnawing on the shards and tearing at their breasts. There's a lot of similarities between Ezekiel and Revelation. And when you compare the two, you can use the two books to help you understand each of the books. Daniel also has a lot of parallels. I didn't really have a lot of time to go into that. So I want to tell you what's coming next. The reason we spent this whole week making this connection between Old Testament prophecy and New Testament prophecy is because we are going to move into the book of Hebrews next week. Hebrews has many quotes from the Old Testament. Hebrews, the writer of Hebrews, and we don't know who it was, I'll explain more about that later, but the writer of Hebrews did not know, let me backtrack. The writer of Hebrews did know. The writer of Hebrews was very well educated, very eloquent in the way it wrote, that he or she wrote, and this writer used Old Testament passages to teach about how Christ was the fulfillment of the law and that now we're ushered into grace. There's a lot of really heavy, deep theology in Hebrews. Once again, we're going to take it really slow. We're going to do a deep dive. It's not as big as Ezekiel. It's not 48 chapters, it's 13. However, there's so much there, it's hard to say how long we'll be in Hebrews. But we're going to do this deep dive of Hebrews starting on Monday. Today's Friday, so I'm going to remind you there's no video over the weekend, but I'll be back with you on Monday and we'll start Hebrews. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.